Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me for another episode of The Backyard Tradesman. Um, Today I'm going to be fixing this 2015 Chevy City Express, and the problem is the rear brakes. When you step on them, there's a grinding sound coming from the back brakes. Now I'm going to show you this side, but I've already worked on the other side. So I already know what the problem is, but for you viewers, I want you guys to see that it's always worth to take a wheel off and have a look at it yourself before you bring it into a professional that can, you know, give you an estimate on it, but sometimes their estimate is not accurate, and sometimes you waste the entire day just waiting to get an estimate. So it's always good kind of look at it yourself, have an idea as to what's going on, and maybe even call the garage and saying, look, this is the problem I have, what's the cost to repair it, and how long does it take, instead of waiting there at the shop for for half a day at least, and then realizing that, wow, that's it is an expensive repair or whatnot. So again, the noises from the back wheels, it sounded like that the bearings were gone because it was making a rotational grinding sound, and at high speeds that sound would go into more of like a rotational humming sound. So I'm going to jack up the vehicle, take the wheels off, and show you guys that it's not the wheel bearing and it's not the brakes, and you'll be surprised to know what the actual cause is. Okay, the tools we're going to need today to do this job is a hydraulic jack, a safety stand, 3/8 ratchet, 12 mil deep socket, a couple of bolts with a 12 mil head on them, 13/16 socket, a breaker bar, and a flathead screwdriver. Now you'll see when I start to do the job how I'll use all these tools, but they're all to take off that back wheel. Okay, we'll start by taking off the cover. On the other side. Loosen all these. No, you can't try. Anna can't try. Okay. This part might be a little slower or boring for your viewers, but you can fast forward. It's going to take off 5 wheel nuts. Remember, these are 13/16s, but a 21 mil can be used as well if you don't have a 13/16s. Hot. Okay. Now we'll take off this wheel. I always like to slide my wheel just under the car, like that. And then we'll use the safety jack. All right. Now I'm going to take off this drum, but you can't, it doesn't want to come out. So remember I showed you guys these? You're going to put these in these designated holes. Okay, that's what they're there for. Manufacturer put those there because they knew these drums are a pain to get off. So then start tightening them. Once you just let you guys hear that sound that we're hearing. Well, what that is the rust here hitting this backing plate and it's making that grinding sound. All right, and that can mislead even some technicians at times, thinking that it's the rear wheel bearings. Okay, so now kind of wiggle that, it comes out. You can get a better look at that. Look at the amount of rust that's built up in here. Now, I would usually chip this off, but this is past that stage where the rust will come back in about, well, one winter here in Canada with all the road salt and everything else. So I'm just going to replace it. I'll show you my replacement. This is it here. That's the new drum that's going to go on there. And this drum has got a special coating on it that's going to somewhat slow it down from our road salt and everything else during the winter months. All right. Now everything here, you see there's also a little bit of rust that started inside here. So I'm just gonna use a screwdriver, get all this out. Just gotta make sure I get all this rust out of here. And what I'll do is I'll grab a pick and go in there. You can use a compressed shop air too if you want it. I just don't have that handy right now, so I'm just gonna use a pick and pull all the stuff out. Good job.
More?
More? Sure.
Wow, you're doing it. Yes.
Okay. So there's a pick that I used to get rid of the rust that was in here. But you know, if somebody has compressed air, they can use compressed air. If somebody has a flathead screwdriver, they can use just to get the rust out of this lip area. You don't want to let it sit there because it'll as the drum goes around, it'll rub against it and make noise as well. All right. Now I'm going to put the drum back on. Now the shoes, they were done not by me, but somebody else did it, so they're brand new. They don't have to be changed. What I'll do is I'll put some lubricant on the moving components here, and a little bit on the face of this bearing to make the drum come off easier next time. And that's all I'll do. Okay, so I apply a little bit of lube and all the moving components in here. Okay, little bit of loop and the emergency brake cable that goes back there. I've cleaned off the rust that's around it. I've replaced this inspection hole cover. It's a rubber piece, and I've used the old one. The new one doesn't come with one, so I just pushed it in here. I'll show you guys. That's all it is, piece of rubber. Okay, that's in there. I'm gonna put the new. Again, I don't have to. The adjustment is good for the shoes. I don't have to adjust anything in there because the rear brake shoes were just done not too long ago. Again, not by me, by somebody else, but nonetheless, they were done. So now I'm gonna put the wheel back on, and you can just see even from here the noise that we had earlier is not there anymore because there's not rust around the edge rubbing against this plate, making that grinding sound. See, nothing there. The little bit that you hear there, that's the actual shoe rubbing on the inside of the drum. That's normal. This dirty kid. You can't play with that. You can't play with that rag. Okay, and we'll just hand tighten these. Now there's torque specs for tightening these wheels. I don't know what they are on this Chevy Express or City Express. So I've been tightening wheels for many years, and I'm just gonna hand tighten them. But for you viewers out there, make sure you look up the specs for your vehicle. Tighten it to that spec. You'll require a torque wrench to do so. My torque wrench is right here. Alright, so now that's on. We'll have to tighten them more once the once I lower the vehicle. Now that the wheel's on the ground, tighten them more. Put the wheel cover back on. Alright, put this on. Okay, wheel cover's back on. Alright, the cost of those wheel drums, they were 84 bucks plus taxes. Now those are premium drums. They're top of the line. They have a coating on it, again, that somewhat slow them down from rusting, and they're $84. So there's the cost of that. Solved the problem. $84 here, $84 on the other side. Original dealer equipment, they're about $130, I believe. So I use top line aftermarket, or the premium aftermarket. The drums on there. All right, hope you guys learned something from this video. If you guys enjoyed the video or took something away from it that's useful to you, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it, and thanks for watching.